Welcome to What the What. I'm Deena Ebbert, also known as Propellergirl, and today I have 3 great questions. 2 of them are about engaging via social media, and 1 is about creating a resonant corporate culture. The first of which is from Amanda, and Amanda asks, how do you engage from social media? And so this is a new adventure for me, really throwing myself into the whirling tide pool of social media. And what I've discovered is it's really important to find people who are doing things that are exciting and different than what I'm doing. So I've been following a number of different people on social media and seeing how they engage with the people in their environment. One of them is Gary Vee, and he's a media genius. He's got a great book that I really like called Jab, 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 Right Hook. And what I've learned from him is about the fearless nature of giving through social media. So creating interesting content that people like and being willing to give that freely. From that point, I've looked at other places where I can expand my own horizons, because these days I think being in one social media venue might be a little bit limiting. So I'm trying things that might seem a little bit intimidating. I started off with Facebook. That got pretty friendly for me. I'm on Twitter too. That's a kind of different environment. Now I'm dabbling in both Pinterest and Periscope. And what I find is on each platform, I meet people who are a little bit different. So it gives me the chance to experience the world through their eyes. And one of those people that I'm experiencing the world through their eyes is Hazer Live. And he's a young and adventurous photographer. And he makes fantastic short films. So I'm learning a lot from him because he's got a perspective from different parts of the world. And I'm also looking at how to engage musically with a DJ whose name is A.E. Shapira. She's also an author who I respect very much, but she goes by DJ Fool, and I listen to an online radio show of hers every Friday night. So to answer your question, Amanda, what I think the best way to engage via social media is be engaging. Create interesting conversations and content that people find compelling, and be willing to give of yourself. The second question that I have today is from Lynn, and Lynn is also asking about social media, and she's curious, whose job is it to put those levels of engagement into place? And I believe Lynn is asking me about in the workplace. I think every workplace has a different manifesto about whose role it is to be in charge of social media. So I can't really answer that globally for everyone, but here's what I can say. I think that we all have the chance to be enthusiastic ambassadors of our brand, which means looking at what our organization stands for, finding the best of that, what resonates with us in our heart, and then being consistently enthusiastic about sharing that great conversation with the people with whom we interact on social media. So if you work for a company and you just dig what they do, it makes all the sense in the world that you would enthusiastically promote that. That being said, social media is complicated enough that we often need more than one voice to share our message. I think it's very valuable to make sure that we're all sharing the same message for our organization. Get together with the folks in your organization and talk and say, hey, what is our message? How are we going to share that? How can we have each other's backs so that as we go forward, we have a consistent, resonant voice? The next question comes all the way from India, from someone who I communicate with regularly, and is Jant. Jant, hi. And you are asking, how does everyone in the workplace create a culture of making it the best place to work? I mean, what should they consciously do to sustain that culture? And I love this question because we talk a lot about how busy we are in the workplace. This conversation has come up regularly over the last few weeks. And what we're discussing is that ability to be nimble in a crisis and lighthearted even when our work is very serious. I believe what makes that as easy as possible is when we're being strong communicators. So understanding what our culture is predicated on our ability to understand each other. If we've got a really solid community and we're committed to taking our community in a successful direction, knowing that we're doing that as a cohesive unit is what builds and sustains that culture. So if you gotta have conversations in the hallway in between the busyness of your workday, do that. If you have to gather at the beginning of your day and talk about what you'd like to create, if you've got to connect at the end and celebrate your successes so that you are positively positioned for the next day, do that too. It's those conversations that we have in between all the busy things that we're doing that help us establish positive momentum and build a resonant culture. Thanks a lot for joining us for this episode of What the What. Please keep those questions coming. I'm interested to know what you want to know. Thanks. I'm Deena Ebbert, also known as Propellergirl.